Welcome guys to another episode of Nerds for Life SuperCoach. I am your host Peter and I am recording at Wednesday morning because it's taken me 3 days to recover from last week. Frustrated, very upset and frustrated is the only way that I can describe my weekend. I was up for a massive week. It looked like, and then I accidentally, while in the car, left my captain on a player that it should never have been on. And anywho, it meant that I got my worst ever captain score ever. And I just don't want to talk about it apart from the fact that I didn't take Gorn as VC because I didn't loop in time as I was in the car, which meant that my score went from 2027. My score was 2027, so it was respectable. However, it could have been 2,200 on the dot. So fun, very fun. Had I captained a captain that was not the literal worst player to captain on my field. Oh my god. Alright, that's enough complaining about last week. We've got a big week coming up where I will try to recover. I had 24 players playing and I scored only 2,000. Anyway, please make sure to subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube or on Spotify. If you're watching this on Facebook as well, because now I do post it on Facebook, please make sure to give us a like. It's Nerds for Life SC. I also post my captaincy picks on TikTok every week, as well as on Instagram and X too. So there's a lot of posting happening throughout the week, throughout the round, giving you updates on not just my trades and my moves, but also just on subs, players that might be a late out. These are the kind of things that can win your matchup. Just knowing that 10 minutes before the game or 30 minutes before the game can really help you win a matchup quickly, as you can bring someone onto the field. So let's kick it off from here. So also, actually, I will mention that I do write for, as well as appear on their podcast too, for Inside F Sports. The guys there have their own Patreon. So if you sign up using the code NERDS, there's a link in the description below. So NERDS, you actually support me as well as them. Of course, it's their Patreon, that makes sense, but I am a regular contributor. Did write an article about some of the rookies that I am keen on this week on their Patreon too. So if you want to check that out, you can. I will discuss, obviously, some rookie options this week. I will discuss some trade-in options for some Premos this week, as well as some interesting injury news as well. So let's kick it off. People that held Jason Horton-Francis were rewarded last week. 136 on his return game. That was fantastic to see. Caleb Daniel's been fine. Gorn's been fine. Smith's been fine. He returned. This is a talking point. LDU. I don't really know what to make of this guy. I brought him in at 400 and... When did I bring him in? 494,000, I believe I brought him in for. And it was just before the Essendon game. So since I brought him in at 493,200 apparently, he scored 101, which is a fine first game. Not great, but fine. 97, 117. So not setting the world on fire, but not playing horribly. But then he's got returns of 85, 82, and 82 against two teams you would expect a much bigger score against, as they're not tagging teams, or West Coast, who's basically a VFL side. And then Fremantle, 102. But the thing that disappoints me about the 102 is that he was on 65 points, or 67 points at quarter time. He was on 67 points at quarter time. That's nuts. It means he only scored another 32 points for the rest of the game. I was watching him play. I don't understand it. Your team is not good. Not good enough for you to be sitting outside waiting for the cheap handballs. The reason he had such a good first quarter was because he was in and amongst it. He was playing inside. He was diving at the football. And North Melbourne actually looked okay in that first quarter too. And then he just hung around on the outside for the rest of the game, just waiting for the cheap handball from someone like a Wardlaw or a Sheasel. Like, how about you're meant to be your team's best midfielder. How about you act like it? Honestly, I want to trade him out so badly, but I guarantee you the second that I trade him out, he's going to pump out that 150. And I'm just going to delete the app. Like, at that point, it's just delete it. But it's... The other thing is, his end of year is actually pretty good. So the Giants haven't been as effective at restricting midfielders in the later half of this season. He's also got Richmond in round 23. Like, this is your SuperCoach final series. However, a Windhager tag is tough. Geelong have been a little restrictive. Sydney can be restrictive if James Jordan's giving him a tag, although I doubt they actually tag North Melbourne. Melbourne have been tagging. Western Bulldogs are a tough midfield matchup. Hawthorn could tag. It kind of varies. I've seen some teams get, some midfielders get tagged out from Hawthorn through a Finn McGuinness, and then I've seen, obviously Lachie Neale pump out 150s against them. So you don't really know what you're going to get there. While George Hewitt tends to play on an LDU, he finds zone football and locks out players too. So I actually think now is a time to maybe jump off LDU, and I will talk about some players that I'm considering jumping onto, okay? Because there are a few of them. So, the first Premo. These are the Primos that I'm considering, okay? The first one is, I know that a lot of people jumped onto him a few weeks ago, and if you have, you're probably disappointed as he's just dropped a whopping 94k since his peak price. He's Marcus Bontempelli, 587,000. He's got a break-even of 177, so you could wait a week, to be honest. You probably should wait a week. But he's also playing Richmond. His last 3 games are 135, 153, 122. The Tigers haven't been pumping out huge scores against inside midfielders. They're more of a halfback kind of team. I'm just trying to see when it loads, of course. If you go down to the Sydney game that Richmond played, I don't believe... Yeah, so Grundy went big, Blakey went big. Heaney was their best scorer at 123. So I could see a 120 plus score, definitely. I could definitely see that. But once again, Richmond pump out big scores for ruckman and defenders running halfbacks. You see Blakey, you see Mills, they've had Bice. All of these guys have had really good games against Richmond, and that's pretty much what we've been seeing all year. Yes, midfielders play well, but I don't see a 177 coming out of Bontempelli. So you could wait a week. I'm tempted to wait that week on Bontempelli, let him drop another 10, 20k, and then jump on after that. But also, I really want to get LDU out of my team because I'm so sick of seeing him in my team, honestly. The other player, if you didn't jump on last week, like many people did, he's got the same break even as what he did last week. He actually, I think, gained only $5,000. So he's still very much a buy, and that's Zach Butters at $569,000. His break even is very realistic, especially considering he scored a 164 against them in round 6 this year. And a 132 against them late last year too. So they don't really restrict him all that much. This is a guy that's already pumped out 2 160 plus scores, as well as a 135 and a 143. This is the ceiling that Zach Butters has. He has West Coast in a month's time, so you're really going to want him against West Coast. I am probably swinging more to the Butters than the Bont, purely because of the break even. I think that I can get Bont later, despite what was Butters' opponent, sorry, Sydney. Even though that obviously Bont's opponent is better in terms of draw-wise, like he's more likely to score a good score. If he goes 150, he still loses cash. He needs to go absolutely mental in order for it to be worth it. And I personally am going to start focusing a little bit more on my league matchups than my rank. I'm not going to win the 50 grand this year. That's the way it is. Obviously, I don't want to drop too far in rank, but I would love to see myself maybe take out some SuperCoach Grand Finals in my league. So I am going to focus a little bit more on that. So I'm actually happy to wait for the perfect price for these players. LDU... What was his break even? It's a 103. It's realistic. So he should kind of hover around that position. His record against Carlton is not good though, so I really do want to jump off him. He was a mistake. I don't want to ever look at him again. I'm probably upgrading him to a Zach Butters because I have, at the moment, I'm only one rookie and McAuliffe, so 2 spots away from a full Premo side. And I've got 10 trades left in a boost. I don't really know how I'm going to finish my side, but if McCarthy, who I went early on, is pumping out these kind of scores, like these massive 133s, he's also got a good draw home. He could just be that guy that just sits there at D6 until very late in the year. And if he's in that halfback role, which was the role that Marek had, but it looks like he's a better player, it actually could be quite lucrative because I can move like a Sheasel, for example, into my midfield, McCarthy into defence, and then McCarthy's my D6. And if he's pumping out 80s and 90s, it's even 100s, it's probably fine. So it's one of those things where I'm considering it. I'm genuinely considering doing that. And I know that that means I'm finishing my side with McCarthy and Mills, which sounds fucking disgusting. But it's been a tough year. It's been a tough year cash generation wise. And it means that I can hold off for a few weeks and potentially make that final upgrade just before SuperCoach Finals. We have 6 weeks before SuperCoach Finals start. So there's no rush. Unless you're in the top 100 or the top 1,000, there's really no rush. If you're going for League, maybe it's the time to slow down. So I'm doing that purely for those reasons, okay? Purely for those reasons. But I really want to get LDU out of my team. I just don't want to look at him again. I'm still considering going early on Bont. I can get to Bont quite easily. The only thing is, for me to get to Bont, I'm going to have to do it in 3 trades. Well, I could do Butters in... Is it 3? No, 1 trade. I could do Butters in 1 trade and a rookie that I want. Although there are 2 rookies that I am actually incredibly tempted to get. Incredibly tempted to get. Nicholas Madden is the first rookie that comes to mind, but I do not like this pick at all. Now, yes, he's playing in a good role. He's got an 81 and a 78, which means he's scoring well. His break even is, negative 89. He's projected to go up 60k this week. But guess what? He plays in the ruck, which is where Briggs plays. Briggs is listed as a 1-weeker on the injury report. You're going to get 1 price rise from this guy, and then he could potentially be dropped after that. I don't love it. I really don't love it. I am all for it. If Briggs doesn't come back, I am all for paying up a little bit more for this guy and potentially, maybe trading Marshall down and having this guy in flex. I am fine with that. But I'm not about to jump on a guy that I know is behind in the pecking order when it comes to the ruck position. So I don't like that pick at all. I don't like that pick at all. Jack Martin is the pick for me that I like the most. He's got a half-back role, so he's not playing the traditional... he's not playing the traditional forward role that he's played over 150 AFL games at. Okay, he's got Richmond coming up in a couple of weeks, who bleed points to halfback. He's also got Richmond in round 24, so that's your SuperCoach Grand Final. If he can get to there, that's tempting. He's had 2 pretty decent scores as well. So what's he at? He's actually gone 33 and 79. But that comes with 54 and then 61% game time. Okay, so he's not spending a lot of time on ground, but his disposal efficiency is elite. He's going at 100% and 93%. If his time on ground, which it should increase, which it will as he slowly transitions back into playing AFL more and more, with that just kind of disposal efficiency, if he can bring up those disposals from 12 or 15 to a 20, you're looking at close to a 100 score from him. And that's pretty great as a forward rookie. The potential there is huge, right? And as you can see, Geelong have a really good draw home. Brisbane don't tag. Richmond have running halfbacks, score huge. St Kilda do. North Melbourne do. Essendon do. Richmond again. It's for his role as well, it could be really juicy. And if you're strapped for cash, jumping on someone like a Jack Martin and putting them in flex could be huge. could be genuinely huge. Because against those kind of opponents, he could pump out big scores. He scored a 79 on the weekend, right? In 61% game time. That is more than what Doherty scored in way more game time. That is more than what Pedler scored. And that is pretty much what Marshall and Daniel scored as well. So that's the kind of player this guy can be in this role. Okay, we're not picking Jack Martin as the forward pocket or the half forward. We're picking Jack Martin, the halfback. Okay? A very, very good halfback from what I can see too. His disposal efficiency is insane. Good draw. Just honestly, he's the one that I really want to try to bring in. I just don't necessarily know how I'm going to do it just yet. But it's probably going to be for Pedler, to be honest. I'm probably going to jump on Pedler and jump on Jack Martin. Harry Roaston is the other one that I really like as a rookie. He scored a 3 in round 11 and then he scored a 79 against Brisbane. But the thing is, his CBA attendance is shot up. He has Callan Ward's position. Okay? So it's shot up. He's got CBA time. It's basically the same logic as a Kane McAuliffe and a... oh my God, who was it? The Ned Long from St Kilda. Same exact logic and he's 119k. I actually think this is a pick. I think this is the play. Because if he's playing, if he had 18 disposals and I think he was third for CBA attendances against for the Giants, if he's got that role behind Tom Green and Finn Callahan, you could be looking at you could be looking at more 70 plus, 80 plus scores. And with Gold Coast and West Coast in the next 2 games, you can make some cash for the back half of the year for you. So I'm most likely jumping on both of these players and then using probably LDU because I'm sick of looking at him on my field. I just don't want to ever look at him again. I just can't do it. To either Bont or Butters. And I think that's probably what I'm doing. And then I'm just not trading again for the rest of the year. I think that is the way to go. I have a boost as well available. I could make a really big play, but right now I'm thinking just hold out, don't do anything crazy. These 2 players look like the goods when it comes to bench cover as well. You have one of those injuries that last a week or 2. You know, you don't want to be trading out a Tristan Cherry or Andy Brayshaw if they're only out for a week. Okay, so these kind of guys can cover you for that. I did forget to mention a Premo that I am keeping an eye on, and that is Dion Prestia. He's actually gone 132 and 121 in his last 2 games. He's got the main CBA role. What's sad is that he's still a better option in the midfield than both Taranto and Hopper, and he's probably getting paid way less than both of them. But obviously there is an injury risk when it comes to him. I just want to point out, so how many games has he actually played? So he's played 2 rounds. In round 24, he played... How many rounds did he play in round 24? 2024. Played like 2, 3, 5... Yeah, not many. Didn't play many rounds, but did come back for the later half of the year, and his scoring was okay. 23, I don't think he played a lot of games. No, he played pretty much a full season in 23. Didn't score great, though, from memory. He did not. So, he does have injury. We know that he's got injury, but his scoring potential's huge. And I think his draw coming up is actually decent, too. The Dogs are going to be a tough opponent to play against, yes. But he does have Essendon, West Coast, Gold Coast, Collingwood, St Kilda, North. Okay? St Kilda could be a tough one. But his run home, he could pump out some decent scores. Now, at 426k, if you're strapped for cash, I don't hate this pick. He's just had it come off his bye. He's had a rest. He's had 2 really good games. I don't hate it, but the problem is it's an injury risk. So if you don't have many trades left, I wouldn't be jumping on him. I could probably squeeze and get him. I might be able to do so using a haul. Let's see. Let's see if I can do it. Haul. Yeah, 420. So if I use another rookie, if I use Clark as well. Look at that. I can actually do it. Can I do it? Can I do it? Dion. Press Dion. Oh my god, I can do it. Ah, but then I can't get the rookies I want. That's upsetting. That's upsetting. Oh well. Yeah, no. Can't do it. Alright, that's fine. Without boosting. I can do it with a boost, but then I'll only have 6 trades left, and that just sounds disgusting. I'll have 6 trades left with Dion Prestia and Sam Doherty in my team. And Callum Mills. These are just injuries waiting to happen, so I don't think that's a smart move. I am tempted. I am really, really tempted. I could trade LDU down to a Dion Prestia. Just literally make one trade. And then like a Clay Hall to, you know, Roaston, and then Pedler to Jack Martin, and then use that cash to then upgrade McAuliffe next week to somebody. Actually doesn't sound bad. Actually doesn't sound terrible at all. Huh. Interesting. Let me just see. I trade out LDU. Trade out Hall. And trade out Pedler. Oh my god. That is so good. Wait a minute. Can I... Prestia. Oh, that is huge. 483k still. So I get Prestia. And I get Jack Martin in the forward line. And then I get Roaston. Where are you? And then I have $212,000 left for next week. Now, McAuliffe is probably going to be more expensive next week, you'd hope. So he's what? That'd be 570... Oh my god, 572,000 already. Plus the money he's making. That's Bont. So I can just turn McAuliffe into Bont next week. Wow. And then my team's finished. That is tempting. That is super, super tempting. Why do I like this so much? Why do I like this? Why does trading LDU down to Prestia it makes me 63k. And then Hall and Pedler out, who are on their buys, probably made the money because of those subs. To get 2 rookies that probably won't be subbed and actually have decent roles. Oof. Oh, I like this too much. I like this too much. This is probably what I'm doing. Actually, I think I'm sold. And then I could trade McAuliffe up to a Butters or a... Oh, I'll probably miss out on Butters, but I could trade McAuliffe up to a Bont or something like that next week. This is crazy. Can I get Butters instead of Prestia with this trade? Can I just get Butters now? Oh, I can. And I still got 69,000, and then I can get... Ooh, this might be better. I don't know what to do. Alright, well, there's a couple of options here, so I guess I'll think about this, ponder this for the next 24 hours, I suppose. But this is basically probably what I'm doing come the end of, well, this round, or the start of this round anyway. Now, let's go to questions. I did get a few DM questions because I forgot, I genuinely did forget to ask. I had someone ask me questions. Let's take a look. So this is Jaden Aitchison. G'day fellas, need some advice. Do I sit this week and do not any trades, wait for Darcy to drop another 10-15k, or go Clark to McCarthy, Husway to Roaston, and Pedler to Darcy? Clark to McCarthy, Erasmus to Darcy. I'm ranked top 1%. Okay, alright, so you gotta be smart. Okay, first, McCarthy's not playing this week, so there's no urgency there. And he's still 2 games away from his bubble. Go Clark to McCarthy. You're trading in a player that's not playing for a player that is playing. So his break-even's 15, so he's still got 20k to make. Yeah, he's still got 20k to make this week. Do I sit on any trades or wait for Darcy to drop another 10-15? Why? I don't understand. Like, I know that there's a lot of hype with Darcy, but he's got 147 break-even. He's 461k. His scoring is really good, yes. He's got Richmond, North Melbourne. He's actually got a good draw coming up. Shit. I think I'm still traumatized from Ed Kerno last year, or Charlie Kerno last year, where he had a really good draw, and then just, my God, he was just terrible. I don't know. I don't love the Darcy pick myself. He's getting some ruck time from memory as well. He could be a decent pick. He'd be definitely better than. He's definitely better than a Prestia in terms of his injury history too. His draw's good. Could do a Darcy this week actually. Maybe LDU to Darcy's the way to go. Huh. It is tempting. Anyway, so go Clark to McCarthy, Hustway to Roaston, and Pedler to Darcy, or Clark to McCarthy, Erasmus to Darcy. Go the 2 trades. Do the 2 trades. Why do a 3rd trade? Pedler's not playing this week, so he's not going to drop money, and he's not going to increase money either. But I do like Roaston, so it kind of depends. If you're sitting there with 18 players on the dot after your trades, or 19 players, I don't mind bringing someone in like a Roaston just to make sure that you've got a good score on field, because someone could be sub. You know, you don't want to have a sub-affected score if you're in the top 1%. I still prefer to be conservative with my trades. So 2 trades to get to the player you want is always better than 3 trades to get to the player you want. If you're trading out rookies, that is. Erasmus still screams sub-risk to me anyway. So, look, I do like the Roasted pick. But again, Pedler's not losing money this week. So if you can... It really depends on how many players you have available. If you're scraping in at 18, 19, I would maybe and you've got 10 or more trades, I like the 3 trade. Okay? But if you've got 10 or if you've got less than 10 trades, it's the 2 trade. Okay? That's the option. Okay, this one was from Daniel. He scored 1,753. Please stop complaining about my captain choice. I don't want. Who did you captain? I'm just going to ask you. Captain. Let's see. All right. So, Scott. Oh no, it's not Scott. Yeah, it is Scott Mulligan. Okay, let's take a look. Mate, I think I'm going to pass on Mills this week. Initially was going to go... Oh, by the way, the reason I didn't talk about Mills is because I have Mills. I went early on him. He is definitely a trade-in. I would say that he's probably more of a priority than a Sam Darcy. If he's playing as either an inside midfielder or a halfback distributor role, that is juicy. Very juicy. He looked really good against Richmond. I know he doesn't play Richmond again, but he does play West Coast in your grand final, as well as North Melbourne, Essendon, and the Giants. I really like Callum Mills. Okay? I went early on him. Alright? Callum Mills, if you can trade out a couple of rookies to Callum Mills, I love it. Like, absolutely love it. I think I'm going to pass on Mills this week. Initially, I was going... Oh my God. To go Brock and Gray to Mills and McCarthy, but I'm thinking of this instead. So he's got in McCarthy, Roaston, and Richards for Gray, Brock, McAuliffe. I don't like that so much because you've held McAuliffe through his bye and now you're just trading him. So I feel like you've held him through the no score. Now he's going to make you a bit of money. But Ed Richards against Richmond should go nuts. So I do get it. I do get it. Yeah, fuck it, do it. I like it. Cons. Early week on McAuliffe, an extra trade this week. Pros. Complete midfield with Dacos at M7 and Caldwell at M8. Dogs run home is good. Can get Mills next week still and move McCarthy to flex. Yeah. Yeah, if you can... Of course, if you still get... Because Mills has got a break even of 34. He's projected to go 86. That's not unrealistic, even if he goes 100, right? He's only going to make another 30k. So he's still going to be 387, 390k max. Unless he goes ballistic. If he goes like a 150, then maybe he's 400k, right? So the reality is you can still jump on Mills next week. He's not an urgency this week, okay? If you think that you can you jump on this. So I actually personally love this. I think that they are fantastic trades. I think you should definitely do it. Your plan makes total sense. It's just frustrating that you've held McAuliffe to do that. Maybe I should move. Maybe I should just hold LDU and put up with this shit scoring and then just get McAuliffe to a Bontempelli or something like that this week. I could probably do that myself if I hit trade. I'm just curious. Trade, Clay Hall, Pedler. I could do it. I could definitely do it. No, I can't. I can't get the players I want. Oh, if I go Butters. No, I still can't get the players I want. So I still can't get the rookies that I want. So I don't particularly love it because of that reason. I think that picking the right rookies at this time of year is really important. Unless I boost. Unless I just do 4 trades and get McAuliffe up to a bot. McAuliffe out. Pedler out. Boost. Activate. Hall. Clark. Oh. Yuck, that looks disgusting. Let's see. And then I've got... Let's see. If I go to Bont, who should score well, you'd think. And then you got... So you got Martin. You've got Rowe. Stern. And then I've got 117k still. Wow. Why do I like this? Why do I think this is good? I don't have any players to bring in though, which is concerning. That's the other issue. There's no player to bring in. Like, I could do this very easily, but the one to bring in this instance would be Tom McCartney, and he's already played, so there's no real... Yeah, there's really no... So I'd have to bring in like a Charleston just as a non-playing rookie just to finish this trade. And then I've got DPP as well, which is not horrible, so it means I can actually be a little bit flexible, which is actually quite good. So maybe this is the play. Maybe upgrading McAuliffe, Pedler, Clark to someone of Bontempelli's ilk is actually pretty good. Or I go jump on Darcy to finish my team with instead. Bontempelli obviously looks better. Don't really know. There's a lot of options here. A lot of options. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I could also trade out LDU as part of that. Get Bont and... potentially get Bont and Darcy and just really just jump on the run home for the Dogs. Just ride out the Dogs as great score, like potential scores coming up. That could be the way to go. Like I could go... Oh, I love doing this live. This is literally what I'll do. I'll just sit there on the computer and just do this for like most of my day. Where do we have? We got... So trade in Darcy. So he's the forward, right? Move Archer Day Wicks to the midfield. Okay. Trade in Martin, because I do want Jack Martin, of course. Trade in No, I can't trade in Roaston if I do that. No, I can trade in Roaston if I do that. Trade in Roaston, and then I'll have 372k to... No, it doesn't work. Does not work. Yeah, can't do what I want to do. So that's frustrating. That's oh, if I use McAuliffe. So if I was to keep trade McAuliffe, oh my god, look at this. No, I can't get Darcy because I'm bringing it up. Because so if I trade out put Hasty there. Hear me out. Put Hasty there. Put Rankin there. And then... Why? There's a forward spot. Oh, I've already got Darcy. Oh, oops, I've done it the wrong way. No, I've done it the wrong way. Oh, it's 527. I'm still fucking short. I'm still short. If I get rid of Clark, reset. So if I get Clark, put Hall in, right? Then I'm 536. I'm still short. Still short to get both Bont or Butters and Darcy in the same week. That's annoying. That is annoying. I could get Presti though. I could get Presti and Darcy. It's not horrible. It's not horrible. There's a lot of options. As you can see, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing this week. My captain choices will be up on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and X and YouTube as well throughout the week as well. Please make sure to subscribe. Give us a follow on those channels in order to see my captain picks. You can probably see what I'm personally going with Brayshaw and I think Whitfield. But I'll give you a few more options as well in the captaincy video. That's enough for this week. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back same time, same place next week.